Thanks for tuning back in. I'm Tommy Campbell, still bald, still in my basement, and still laughing at gullible Trump supporters who continue to back the never surrender, never settle guy who has settled and surrendered multiple times and is even selling them merchandise with the image of him surrendering with the caption, never surrender. Only the best and brightest for MAGA. Things are not going well for Gravy Seal Ron DeSantis, who has been called out for stolen valor by Adam Kinzinger, and now the bobblehead has been booed in Florida, and he's currently on the phone for hurricane preparation, and for Ron, that means making sure that his boots aren't white this time around, but they still have the extra lifts in them. Need that height. Fox News is all in for Trump's mugshot, and I'll be getting into the entertainment channel for married cousins' attempts to spin his chin-hiding, pants-filling booking photo into a win, and more, but first, this.
Huge divide in our country right now, and it's perpetuated by the mainstream media, perpetuated movies, TV. I don't harbor that kind of anger and hate towards people who have a different point of view, and it was sad to me. You know, my manager and agent for so many years said we can't get you jobs anymore or work with you because people don't want, because if you're being a Christian, be conservative.
Chris Pratt, star of Guardians of the Galaxy, Parks and Recreation, Jurassic World, is one of the most outspoken conservative Christians in Hollywood. He even credits God instead of his own co-workers in acceptance speeches. And last time I checked, still cranking out the blockbusters. The problem isn't Kevin Sorbo having conservative Christian beliefs, it's Kevin Sorbo not having talent. I've been torching Sorbo since 2019, and that far-right ultra-MAGA bug-eyed slab of plywood's bad acting is only second to Kyle Rittenhouse. It is pouring MAGA tears. Fill your pints, join the good people in the comments, and have a laugh while I give my take on the latest and stupid and more.
I'm not golfing today, and I blame Sleepy Joe because real presidents nuke hurricanes. But I am trying to convince Ivanka to promote my merch. If I can get her out in the rain with a white Never Surrender shirt, that would be totally hot.
This is really cool.
I am now going to book the Fulton County photographer for my Christmas card. Because, Judge, and I say this with a unblemished record of heterosexuality, he looks good. And he looks hard. And
he doesn't look good. He just looks like he pinched a loaf in his diaper and he's trying to figure out if the photographer knows it's changing time for Trump's turd tank. As for hard, come on, Jesse. His dangling blob of neck skin sways for a full minute after every golf swing. This guy's about as hard as a bowl of oatmeal.
Ramaswamy. Mr. Ramaswamy, welcome back to Meet the Press.
It's good to talk to you, Chud.
Good to talk to you, Chud. Chuck Todd. Let's just make it Chud, okay? You're Chud now. Chud.
And that's it. We lose our country. There is a bright side to all this, though. Hey, if we're wrong, it's the end. It's end times. We all us believers go to heaven. It's it's a win-win, right? but in the meantime, like I said, more and more people are coming to this bucket with Jesus Christ too. They're pouring in because of the bad things going on. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to.
Yeah, a little too much coming in buckets with Jesus for me, Mike. When I was making the bingo card for Lindell's election summit, I forgot to include a Jesus circle jerk square.
Not going to allow these institutions to be targeted by people.
Okay, listen, y'all. Let me tell you, we finna put parties aside. Cause it ain't about parties today. A bullet don't know a party. So don't get me started.
He's lucky this lady saved him, and I really wish she hadn't, because a bullet, you know what? A bullet does know a party. It's the one owned by the NRA that has brainwashed millions to think that weapons of war should be a part of daily life.
And targeting people due to their race has no place in the state of Florida.
This is the book banner who is erasing history and science, who wants people to believe that slaves benefited from slavery. He refuses to condemn his supporters who waved the same flags that the shooter put on his AK-47, and he is all for arming these idiots while picking fights with Disney. Disney, the largest employer and most smile-inducing thing to happen to Florida, and that says a lot. I mean, this is the state that started Hooters.
the mugshots up on the side of buildings in the inner city. The 2016 phenomenon's happening all over again. Trump won that election because of a laser-like focus on the forgotten man. A bond was formed back then that can never be broken.
Okay, first off, it's strange that Jesse's championing graffiti, but he'll use anything to fit his Trump narrative, even when he's way off. Here's the finished product. Laser focused. Thank you. I see every tip from pennies to dollars. They are hugely appreciated and help make this show possible. If you love what I do here and you can afford to help out, throw me a buck with the PayPal link in the pinned comment or drop me a super thanks with this button. And please take 2 seconds after this video to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. These things are free and help the show grow. Thank you. Many times on the campaign trail and during the debate, Ron DeSantis tried to pass himself off as a Navy SEAL. And he got away with it because if you mention anything military, people deem it off limits. I remember when Trump went after Ted Cruz in the debates for being born and living his first few years in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Ted said that he was automatically a U.S. citizen, just like those born in military bases abroad, and that was that. Nobody questioned Ted any further because he mentioned the Army, even though his dad was in the oil business. Adam Kinzinger, a lieutenant colonel who flew missions in South America, Guam, Iraq, and Afghanistan, took to Twitter to note, Ron DeSantis was a JAG. Nothing against JAGs, but quit trying to make people believe you were a Navy SEAL. JAGs go through 2 weeks of training versus other people. Working with the Navy SEALs is not the same as being a Navy SEAL. Ron was just Navy SEAL adjacent, like R.J. Majewski, who loaded planes but pretended he was some sort of war hero. This sort of thing does my head in. Most of Ron's service focused on his legal work, a scheduler/administrative officer. Other duties included a physical fitness coordinator, a recruiting officer, an assistant urinalysis coordinator, piss guy, and an awards officer.
Okay, here's what the Democrats' platform is. You ready? Pot, porn, Planned Parenthood. Okay, that's it. And throw in some COVID masks, I guess.
Awesome.
That mugshot situates Trump in a cultural context that I'm not sure his enemies may have anticipated. Now he joins Frank Sinatra. He joins Elvis Presley. He joins Johnny Cash and Tupac Shakur. And he didn't only know some of these people, meaning he is now seen by non-political folks as a rebel, an outsider with swagger. And as one black lady I spoke with earlier today here in New Orleans said, Trump's a gangster. And that means he has cred among a new block of voters that perhaps have never given him a serious look, and now they're looking again.
Yes, Sinatra, Tupac, Elvis, they all had mugshots, but you know what they also had? Hit records. And their file photos weren't taken for trying to steal an election. Fox is so desperately trying to spin this mugshot thing into a victory that criminal now equates to credible. And you have Milkbread over here claiming he talked to a black lady who was now in for the Tubby Tang, the same guy who sent an also indicted henchman, Stephen Lee, to stalk a black lady, Ruby Freeman, and tried to get her to make a false statement for her own protection, which would have been as safe as being in a bedroom alone with Rudy Giuliani while he adjusts his belt. For those new to the show, I'm glad you found me. Thank you. For a year, I've been reading a genuine page from Lauren Boebert's book. This really is a ton of fun. I only do it once a week, and it's been pretty wild. Let's get back to it. It's not every day that your employer accuses you of trying to burn their bar down. Usually, when a little blaze happens here, it's a tipsy dancer dismounting the pole on Fireworks Friday, or when a Molotov cocktail rolls in the front door after Craig gets into it with the local bikers, and I'm not talking about 10 speeds and BMXs. This overachiever's life has seen a lot of action, and that's why voters piled on me like my husband and his just out of prison buds. I remember Jason throwing our kids $10 in some old propane tanks, and they spent an entire school night loading them in shopping carts before rolling them at the homeless camp while we had ourselves quite the get-together. What else would you expect from the love child of a hard-drinking Florida ring rat and handsome wrestler Stan Lane? Stan was in the WUA, and he looks so much like my husband that I call him Daddy. Especially when we get together in our truck, the couch, or his no questions asked wood shack off the 36 that is not listed on Google Maps, and the closed and do not enter signs are there just to throw off the donut squad. You know, I even programmed my husband's name as Daddy in my phone, mostly because the stupid spell check kept rejecting Jason with a Y. One Thursday lunch, when I was out with my gal pals at Applebee's, taking a break from pretending to mom it up, and Jason was drinking in an alley with his ankle monitor support group, he decided to check in and thumbed over a special picture. Well, I had my phone resting on the bar when he messaged the bubbly hot dog shot, and just as the bartender was setting down Blue Hawaiian number 4, my screen lit up Daddy along with his soggy ramen photograph. Boom. Well, this wannabe AOC minimum wage drink maker was a bit startled by it all, but I explained that those blisters aren't permanent. Daddy is actually my husband, and that I just call him that because my father is champion wrestler Stan Lane, who he denies with science and wants nothing to do with me or my mom, but I know the truth. Now, I've never looked at Jason's phone, but if we're going by nicknames, he'll either have my name in there as Smash Pile, Corncob Facehole, Government Cheese Tooth Tunnel of Fun, or Colorado Sauce Pocket. It was like a fairy tale. If you've enjoyed this genuine page from Lauren Boebert's book, let me know in the comments and I'll see about reading another page sometime soon. Would be much header without your commentary. MAGA Tears. Impressions are bad. Maybe stop with that. MAGA Tears. Dems intimidates, stuffed ballots, lost votes, suspicious electronic voting machines. MAGA Tears. And that's why voters piled on me like my husband is just out of prison, buds. And that far-right ultra-MAGA bug-eyed slab of plywood's bad acting is only second to Kyle Rittenhouse. He's terrible. My screen lit up Daddy along with his soggy ramen photograph. Boom! Thanks so much for watching. Help me out by joining us in the comments, sharing this video with a friend, and following me on social media. I am a one-man show here, from script to screen, the editing, even the graphics. Please throw me a tip with the easy PayPal link or hit that super thanks button, and be sure to check out my mugs that go great with those MAGA Tears. I am a stand-up comedian. I've played in 35 countries, and I've toured with Jim Jeffries for nearly 10 years. I have 3 albums and a brand new EP from my opening set on Jim's latest Netflix special. You can stream these on Spotify, Apple Music, or catch them on SiriusXM. Thanks for helping me make this show possible. Life's short. Be cool, be kind, take care.